Official Midnight Pre-Patch DPS class overview. What's up guys, Petko here, welcome for another video. Today we're gonna talk about how your class is changing from the war routine to Midnight Beta. What can you expect rotationally, new design, new features, new stuff, you know, pretty much a TLDR for all DPS specs right now. After, you know, several months of testing them on alpha and beta, I think a summary of a few minutes would give you a good comprehensive understanding of what you can expect following the 20th of January pre-patch release date. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. And a small tip here, I will be featuring all of those updates as well on the spreadsheet. Very soon it's going to be available. I'm pretty much going to export all of my UI for all of the DPS specs for free. If you guys want to use what I use, pretty much a sample of it. This is pretty much what it looks like. Let's say for a monk, I'm going to have this for every single DPS in a game, and I'll give it to you guys for free as soon as it's ready. The video should be rolling out next Saturday, where I'll teach you how to, you know, pretty much maneuver through it, install it, and what you can optimize better, or, you know, add-ons and stuff like this to install to look like weak order, but obviously it's not weak order. Anyway, enough yapping, let's begin. Starting with DK. So what is happening with Frost DK from the War into Midnight? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It plays the same, it does the same, very minimal stuff in your rotation changes. The only major thing is gonna be your Apex talents, which right now are not gonna be active all the way until March. So honestly, nothing. Same rotation pretty much, nothing to worry about. You're gonna be pressing the Frostworm button once you get your Apex talents. Other than that, that's it. You know, damage wise, good prior damage, you're gonna retain it. Good burst, good sustain every 45 to minute and a half, because you're gonna be playing Deathbringer. That's it, TLDR. Unholy DK is changing from top to bottom. Forget about everything you know for Unholy. It is gonna be something that you've never experienced before. First of all, D&D. You do not have to press ever D&D button. The spec doesn't work this way. The most important thing is making sure to understand that majority of your damage is now based on ghouls, which they do the damage itself. Once you press your Scorching Strike, you summon a ghoul, the ghoul does damage, yada yada yada. And diseases, which is spread by pressing the Putrefy. So, you know, Outbreak, for example, is a ability that you often press as Unholy. You can still press it, but instead people press Putrefy, which has a cooldown. You apply it, and that's how everything explodes. You put diseases, and then your rotation consists of pretty much Scorching Strike and your spenders, which is, you know, Epidemic or Death Code, depending on how many targets you're fighting. But again, I'm gonna be putting in this spreadsheet vote of every single DPS spec how I play, and you can see pretty much how the rotation looks like. Or you can scroll back in the previous videos and check out the spec overviews during beta. You can see gameplay and how it looks like. Your major cooldown is now Army of Death, which is a minute and a half cooldown. It is extremely powerful. Not like before, 7 minutes doing nothing. Now it actually does good damage. That's it. Right, FS30 wounds is gone. That's something to remember. Apocalypse is gone. Dark Transformation is your minor cooldown every 45 seconds as always. And I think I was playing Sanlin on beta. Yes, you don't play Riders on Riders, you're playing Sanlin. However, on pre-patch you might want to play something else because you still have the old tier set and you don't have Epic Talents yet. So I don't know. So far on beta, this spec is absolutely amazing to play. Very fluid rotation and super fun. One of the fan favorite and my personal favorite to old next expansion. Big thumbs up for that one. Moving forward to DH. Okay, so unfortunately for Havoc DH, well, I guess I say unfortunately, but fortunately, you're getting a new edition of a DPS spec called Devourer. Now, Devourer is not right here, but I can show it to you in a little bit. Maybe we can talk about Devourer at the end. First, let's talk about Havoc. So what's happening to Havoc? Pretty much they're gonna double down on what they were already good at, which means the Aldrak is gonna be just as fun as before, one of the more interactive gameplays. However, they're making a several quality of life adjustments. First of all, Sigil of Flame and Spite being gone. No extra buttons to be added there, gone. Netherwalk, gone. Instead of that, you have a double charge of Blur, much more consistent, and also a small spell damage reduction called, I think it's called Demonic Muzzle. Once you interrupt a target, you've got like a 12 seconds of like DR, and your kick is like 15 seconds, which actually is pretty cool. Fail Barrage gone, nobody plays that anyway. Glaive Tempest now is gonna be a passive, which is, again, it eases down the rotation quite a bit, which is good for beginners that are trying to get into Havoc. I tried Failscard, I tried Aldraki. For me, Fellscard is a lot more bursty, but Aldrak has much better damage profile, better proud target damage, and much more fun to play around your Glaive Tempest. At times, I would say harder. Fire Inside has also been changed now. No more RNG, a bit more consistent there. That's about Havoc so far. Much more tanky and just as fun, I would say. We'll talk about Devourer at the end. Moving forward, we're talking about only DPSs right now. I will skip the tanks and healers. That's gonna be a discussion for another time. Balanced Druid. Alright, so... excuse my cat. Balanced Druid plays exactly the same. Now, going from the Water into Midnight, obviously there's gonna be a new talents added. Right now, you do the same thing, right? Moonfire, 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 Sunfire, Eclipse, boom, 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 dead, right? That's pretty much what you're gonna expect in the next expansion, except that your Eclipses are now an active button, which means previously you could cast double Rat for Solar Eclipse and double Starfire for Lunar. Now there's an active button. Whether you're pressing Starfire or Rat, it changes. You only gotta press one spell to change, which actually can make things a little bit harder because it requires you to have a bit more dungeon knowledge and cooldown management. So that's, I guess, the biggest change so far for Balanced Druid. But good, good old balance gonna be exactly the same. So yeah, you can expect to be bored at times, I would say. Pharaoh, unfortunately, there's nothing positive I can say about Pharaoh Druid Midnight. I've played it. Current tuning on beta is atrociously bad. The playstyle of Pharaoh is also pretty bad. I don't like the way that they're going. But TLDR here is Blood Talons got removed, Slash got removed, Adaptive Storm got removed as well, Trash also removed. The spec feels super, super easy. Rake is undertuned right now on beta. You don't even press Rake anymore. You just swipe bites and Primal Rat on cooldown just to maintain rips, and that's pretty much all you do. There's new cool talents added. Trump one of them for raid specifically when you have no energy. Frantic Frenzy is a short cooldown that gives you a burst, instant damage. I think that's like the biggest thing so far. I would say a lot more tuning needs to be done on Pharaoh on beta compared to the Warcraft to be up there. But once again, you should not care about meta and pre-patch. Just give it a try on all the specs you want to be playing in Midnight. Right now, I'm giving you the information from beta that I've tested so far, and Pharaoh, unfortunately, is a little bit disappointing. Moving forward to Augmentation. Oh my god, guys. This is one of the best Apex talents so far done to any specialization. Augmentation plays exactly the same as before. No rotational changes. The only big difference is, I guess, for all the Evoker specs, whether you're playing Press or Devastation, Twin Guardian doesn't give you shield anymore, so that becomes one less button to press. Renewing Blaze is no longer a standalone defensive cooldown. It's now baked inside Obsidian Scale. It's significantly weaker than before, and that's pretty much it. Alright, Duplicate, which is your Apex talents, pretty much makes your Even Might a lot more powerful. Also, Even Might becomes a lot easier to manage in raid, which can be an advantage of you if you are trying to rate as Augmentation. You know how hard was last seasons to min-max your target with Prescience and Even Might and stay there and positioning and yada yada yada. Now it's much easier. Why not? But this looks to be super cool design-wise, but yeah. They're bringing back the old Augmentation, not doing that much personal damage, but the ability to give damage to others is significantly higher than the Routine. So maybe Dragonflight style Augmentation. And everybody knew what happened last time they did that. I say no more. Devastation Evoker. Well, there's quite a few things happening with Evoker. First of all, they significantly simplify the spec. And Goof is gone. It's now going to be a passive Consume Flame, which consumes the Fire Breath with your Pyre or Disintegrate. Firestorm is also a passive, which you don't play anyway on beta right now, but you can opt in. Shattering Star, also a passive after the Eternity Surge. By the way, speaking about Eternity Surge, there's a new talent called Azure Sweep. After you cast Eternity Surge, you get the Azure Sweep, if you talented, which you should. That pretty much makes you Azure Strike, have 2 charges to strike all enemies once. No, I think it's capped to like 8 targets. Yeah, 8 targets capped. And it gives the CDR to Eternity Surge, which again, the more CDR you get, the more you cast it, the more you cast your channel spells, and the longer you're gonna have your Dragon Rage. By the way, speaking about Dragon Rage, the Dragon Rage now is gonna be capped. Well, not capped, but you get significant DRs while trying to extend it. In the Water Routine, you can make your measure cooldowns 30, 40, 50 seconds. And midnight, I would say 30 is gonna be probably the max you can do. Maybe. That's pushing it, by the way. That's very pushing it. So expect shorter offensive cooldowns because they did nerf it. So far, it seems like Flame Shaper to be the go-to talent choice for midnight. At least once I was playing it. Again, keep in mind that I'm giving a TLDR of everything, 2-3 minutes per spec. So this is not gonna be in depth. You can obviously check out Ice Events, check out WoWkit. They're gonna have much more in-depth articles. I want to give you the, chop chop, get the fuck out here, kind of video. All right, BM Hunter. Same old. Extremely boring. Same rotation. By the way, if you have bad talents, you do 0 damage. Don't worry. I'm gonna export all of my talents very soon. They nerf your pet damage quite significantly. They nerfed your focus generation quite significantly, but there's been a few changes to make it better. Your Apex talents are gonna change your rotation slightly depending on if you have the buff or not. But don't worry about that because that's gonna come all the way in March. In the pre-patch, there are no Apex talents available, so worry not. Implosive Trap, High Explosive Trap is also gone from all the hunters. Scatter Shot, Bursting Shot as well. So don't worry about this. Q Shot is now gonna be available only to MM Hunter. Several new cool additions. You become tankier in Midnight. You were already tanky, now you're gonna become tankier. Multi-shot is going to be gone. Instead, you're going to have Wild Trash, which pretty much is the same thing, except that Wild Trash is 8 seconds duration for Peace Cleave instead of 6 seconds with multi-shot. Your Bestial Rat is no longer skew expression ability to give you CDR based on how many bar shots you cast. Now instead you get a flat CDR and your Bestial Rat becomes 30 seconds cooldown. Now Dark Ranger is completely dead. Don't play this shit. You play Pack Leader. As a Pack Leader, you have your, where is it? Stampede as a capstone on the hero talents, which is absolutely crazy. Pretty much the tier set you have right now in the Warcraft Season 3 is going to be the capstone of S1 of Midnight, so that's pretty cool. You got a new external defensive cooldown called Aurora Sacrifice, pretty much a sack. You can sack enemy, you can sack, party members. Let's say you tank, you healer, 50% DR, pretty cool. 2-minute cooldowns, kind of like a paladin sack, so that's pretty cool. Hunter's Mana got redesigned, now gives you a flat 3% damage increase, disregarding the target health, which actually is going to be a significantly better rate buff than before. It still sucks Mythic Plus, don't worry about it. I might speak too fast because I'm just too excited, sorry. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I guess lunch or dinner, whatever. It's 8 p.m. That's it, chat. That's it so far. Moving forward to MM Hunter. Oh my god, chat. This is the most boring spec we ever played in beta. So boring. It's exactly the same. TLDR, the only difference is Q Shot is now gonna be MM only talent if you wanna play it. Aim Shot is gonna be stronger but slower to cast, and that's it. That's literally it. It's super boring. It's multi-shot, aim shot, multi-shot, rapid fire. That's it. Nothing else. You don't have explosive shot anymore. It's just that. Yeah, that's it. Just that. I could fall asleep playing the spec. And also Dark Ranger is dead. Yeah. It sucks. TLDR, it sucks. Moving forward, Survival Hunter. Oh, I love this spec. Survival is chef kiss, right? Amazing. First of all, a shit ton of talents got removed. Coordinator Assault is gone. Spearhead is gone. These two combined together in a new major cooldown called Takedown. Same shit, different name. Fury Vigo gone. What else? Butchery is gone. How do you get CDR on bombs? New ability. Boomstick. I like to call it Bombostick because of Bomboclat, right? So Boomstick is kind of like if you remember back as a BM Hunter, you had a talent called Barrage, like same shit. Same shit, by the way. You can check out Survival Hunter VOD, same shit. It's pretty cool. So pretty much Wildfire Bombs, Barrage, Boomstick. And then there's a new talent called Flamefang Pitch, which actually is like a cocktail Molotov, you know? You throw in fire on the ground, dots as well on the target, does no damage, but gives CDR to bombs. The more CDR you get to bombs, the more CDR you get to Boomstick. The more frequently you cast Boomstick, the more CDR you get to bombs. You know, like pretty much you are the Joker from the Batman, right? That's what you do. You just throw bombs. Pretty cool. Also dual wield. You can play dual wield. Double dagger, double sword, although don't play it right now. Apparently offhand doesn't scale, so you do less damage. You still play stuff or polyarm. So until they fix it, don't do it. Unless they already fixed it by the time video comes out, which is gonna be in like 45 minutes from now. And as a filler, you cast Raptor Strike, right? So Q command is to generate tip with a spear. You consume tip with a spear with bombs, boomstick, and flame fang pitch. And if you have nothing else to press, you press the Raptor Strike. By the way, Apex Talent make a Raptor Strike's cleave on enemies, so pretty cool. I played Sentinel. I think I've tried to play Pack Leader, sucks. Play Sentinel, amazing. At least I'm better. Mage, oh boy, oh boy. Arcane Mage is chef kiss. Chef kiss. They removed, okay, so TLDR on mages, they removed a lot of defensive options on mages. All mage specs. Mass barrier, gone. DR on mirrors, gone. DR on greater invisibility, gone. That's it. They have barriers, their own barrier. They've had a measured defensive cooldown, which is ice block. What else do they have? That's it. Oh, I guess they have the alter time. Holy shit, how do I remember all the abilities? Yeah, alter time. That's also defensive ability. So that's it. So the new playstyle is focusing on Arcane Salvo, playing around Arcane Salvo, consuming it with your barrages. Big damn. I love it. Instead of Arcane Blast playstyle, you can play Arcane Pulse. Oh, you can play both, I guess. But Arcane Pulse replaces Arcane Explosion. So you don't need to be in melee anymore. Be a peasant. You can be a chat, being in range and cast Arcane Pulse. So bigger AoE, big damn. The attunement always cleaves. Chef kiss, but removes extra damage. Whatever. Fuck it. Yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing. Minor cooldowns, major cooldowns, same. You know, your mag is now gonna hit like a truck, which is pretty cool. What else? What else? Thinking about it. Evocation is no longer offensive cooldown. Now it's just a mana back. But there's a talent opposite of this that gives you mana back once you barrage, which you never play Evocation. So that's one less button to press. Pretty cool, right? That's it. I love Arcane. Currently, Arcane on beta is a menace. It does big damn. I'm not sure about pre-patch damage. I don't care about it. On beta currently is amazing. In the rating Mythic Plus, one of the best specs right now. What else? Fire Mage. When Fire got introduced in beta, it sucked. But they started to add more spells and more new talents, yada yada. So now it's actually quite alright. Kindling. No more skill inspiration on Kindling. No matter how good you are, you're getting a 60-second CDR flat on Kindlings, which means your combustion is gonna be 1 minute at a time. TLDR, your Apex talents, your whole talent tree is making you during combustion to do Godzilla damage. Godzilla. But outside of combustion, tank damage. Which means on the highest level keys, you'll be having combust every pack, big damn. On mid to low level keys, dog shit. One pack you burst, the other pack you're like, you know, below tank damage. Unlucky. Still very strong spec to play. Has a good prio if you play. I think Sun Fury has better AoE, but no prio. And Frostfire has better prio because you play Ignite build with Battle Blasts, right? Hypothermia got removed, unlucky. And Phoenix Flames got removed, unlucky. How do you do your rotation during your combustion? Don't worry, you get a lot of Fire Blast resets, so it's gonna be Fire Blast Pyro, you know, kinda. And if you have nothing else, Fireball, that's it. SKB removed. Well, I guess reverted to Pyroclasm, but yeah, formerly removed. That's pretty much it. I love it. And first mage, likely the biggest W across all range specs. Absolutely amazing. Quality of life updates. Obviously, everything that we discussed about the mages being, you know, no more extra defenses. That's also applying to first mage, but also every single mage gets no blast wave, which is one less stop to do. Icy Veins, not the website. The actual ability is gone, right? The actual ability, not the website. Instead of this, you have a major cooldown called Ray of Frost. That's it. After you cast Ray of Frost, there's gonna be a talent to cast a where is it? The Comet Storm. So instead of having Saber Keybind for Comet Storm, you can only cast it after Ray of Frost. And the Ray of Frost usually is 2 charges, so you'll be cooling, you'll be chilling. You have to play around your freezing stacks, right? Every single ability applies freezing stacks. Frostbolt, Icicles, no Icicles. The I forgot the name. Not Ice Lance, but the other more blue ability that looks like Ice Lance is also instant. I forgot it, but you know what I'm talking about if you're a mage main. 2 minute spells in my headshot, sorry. Geisha Spike, Frostbolt applies also freezing stacks, and you consume those freezing stacks with Ice Lance and Comet Storm, and they do insane damage, by the way. You play Frostfire most of the time, and you have also instant Frostbolts too. Blizzard is doing big damage still. Your Frozen Orb now follows your target, by the way. Insane. You don't get it. I don't think you get any CDR on Frozen Orb ever. It's just like a flat 1 minute cooldown. I might be wrong with that one. There might be something to get CDR. You know, the old playstyle where you just spam Frozen Orb to Oblivion into Blizzard, no longer the case. It doesn't exist anymore, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think so far Frostmage is looking to be insanely fun to play. At least when I played it, amazing. Loved it. Moving forward to Monk. Oh boy. Yeah, Monk is disappointing. So TODR, Storm, Earth, Fire, deleted. Not the website, the talent. Invoke Zuin is now going to be only Conduit Hero Class 3 instead of General Class 3. Unlucky. Strike of the Windlord is now going to be a choice not with Whirling Dragon Punch. You can't have both. One of the most undertuned specs so far on beta. Unlucky. Spinning Killing Kick is dog shit. Unlucky. New major cooldown called Zenith instead of these two abilities. It's okay, not too bad. It could do better. Rotationally, some changes, but there's a builds that there are builds that don't play with Spinning Killing Kick at all, which is actually pretty fun. I played it, pretty cool. Maybe with a like flat out 25% buff on Monk would be good, but obviously a lot of cool shit got removed. Your capstones suck donkey balls. They better get buffed. One of the specs that I love to get buffed. Flurry Strikes quality of life got actually a lot better with being cast about attacks and trigger when you cast Fist of Fury. That's amazing. I think that's it. That is the TLDR of Monk. I think if they buff Spinning Killing by like 50% and more general buffs, Monk would be fine. But for now, not my style, not my taste. It better get buffed ASAP. Retribution Paladin. Same old. Instead of Templar Strikes, instead of Crusader Strikes, which is the passive generator of Holy Power, you can play Templar Strike, which actually is better, and that means no longer passive Holy Power gen. Instead, you gotta press an actual extra button, which might make your rotation harder than before, which might make it more interactive, which a lot of people might dislike. I personally like. Yeah, that gets a thumbs up from me. Final Awakening is deleted. Unfortunately, that talent doesn't work anymore. Instead, it's all combined into... Actually, hold up. Executioner Sentence is combined with Final Reckoning. It becomes one talent instead of being separate. So you have a good AoE damage on top of that AoE damage transferring to one single target every minute. Outside of this, you have no prio. Bad spec. Shield of Vengeance is gone. It's now a passive baked inside Divine Protection. So you only have one defensive option. Divine Protection and Bubble. And Leon Hands. Divine Hammer is a Templar only ability in a Hero Talent tree. That means if you play the Sun King Blessing, or no, sorry, what do you call it? Not Sun King. I think it's called Sun King. The other talent, not Templar. You can't play Divine Hammer, but that doesn't account for too much of your overall damage. For me, it did around 5.6%, 6% in general. I played both. I like Templar better, even though the other talents are actually pretty good too. Especially like consistent sustained AoE damage. That's it. Moving forward to Shadow Priest. Oh, I love Shadow Priest. The rotation, the visuals, everything. I love the spec. Likely one of the specs that I had the most fun playing. I can't say anything bad about the spec so far. Well, I can. They got nerfed 3 times in a row. So they went from really OP to okay, above average. TLDR. Shadow Word Madness is Devouring Plague, just different name, same shit. Tentacle Slam is the new Shadow Crash. No, so Shadow Crash. Okay, I'm gonna draw it. I have autism, sorry. I would draw it. I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean. So, where's my pen? Sorry guys, once again, I need to draw it. Epic pen. Ah, it doesn't work. Fuck. Okay, new plan. Paint. So this is Shadow Crash. Boom, right? There's a target here, and you Shadow Crash, boom, okay? The Tentacle Slam is, imagine you have targets here, 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 here. It does like this, right? It does boom, right? So it's also 6 targets. No, yeah, it's 6 targets. Is it? It might be more. Is it? Once again, might be lying. Yeah, 6. Sorry. So let's say if you have 3 targets here and 3 targets here, the frontal opponent is gonna target those guys and those guys at the same time. Unlike Shadow Crash, which only targets the one in the middle, the one you target. So it's much better. W. That's it. Silence now baseline. No more spending talents on silence. Cool shit. Void Torrent is gonna be casted only as Void Weaver, and Halo only as Archon. Archon sucks, by the way. You play Void Weaver all the time. Void Bolt gone. Question: how do you extend dots on targets? Answer: operations. There's a talent to extend dots called something something. Every time you do damage to operations, extends them. Big damn. Apex talents are based on operations. Big damn. Love that. Dark Ascension gone. Lovely. No more Insanity, Surge of Insanity, which means Mind Flay is now a filler. Whenever you have no Mind Blast, no Shadow Word Dead, no Devouring Plague, no nothing, you Mind Flay. Mind Flay is a filler. It doesn't do that much damage, but it's okay. What else? New talent, Void Volley. So once you cast Void Storm, you're gonna get Void Volley. It does no damage, so you press it once you have nothing else to press. That's it. Love it. Good rotation. Very fun to play. Good prior damage. Everything is great. I can't, you know, like the core of the spec is resembling what it used to be in the Warcraft 10, just 2 less buttons to press. That's it. No Void Bolt, for example. No Halo, and that's it. Love it. Moving forward, Assa Rogue. All right, Assa Rogue, one of the best quality of life changes done to the spec. Your bleed application has become significantly easier. Why? Answer to that question. Now, once you garrot target and rupture one target, let's say your prior target, right? You can cast Crimson Tempest, but Petko, Crimson Tempest spends combo points. Wrong. Crimson Tempest is actually a combo point generator. It replicates the longest bleeds you have on one target on 2 nearby enemies. So pretty much stealth, get in, garrot, max combo point, rupture, crimson. You get 5 or 6 targets with the bleeds, and then you spend your remaining time on Fan of Knives into Envenom. Envenom is the only spender on combo points. With Ghost Splatter. Plot twist, you never have to press Mutilate on single target. Amazing. Another plot twist, Shift is no longer your part of your main rotation. Amazing. What else? Yeah, love it. I love it. Just it requires a little bit of a ramp up time before you do damage. Overall, the rotation feels pretty good. Oh, energy generation, dog shit. It's better than before, but it still has a long way to go. There might be some bugs that affect the generation of energy. I'm not sure of those, but if they are, I'll love them to get fixed ASAP, because that is the only thing that bothers me. There are times where you just press nothing because you can't. You just have no energy. Sucks. Outlaw Rogue. Whoever redesigned Outlaw Rogue, let me take you for a dinner. Amazing, bro. The 10,000 abilities every 2 minutes, the 10,000 APM, the fucking, I don't know, highest Grandmaster chess player. You don't need to be that anymore to play Outlaw Rogue, okay? Collection windows, gone. No more playing around Vanish, that shit is gone, okay? Love it. Roll the Bones got reworked into much more consistent Roll the Bones. You have now 4 stages. Your rotation is something like BFA Outlaw. You roll the Bones, you Blade Fury, Sinister Strike, and you spend it on Between the Eyes. If that resets, you cast it again and dispatch the rest. Well, if you play Killing Spree, you press that 2 on cooldown as well. Those get CDR, obviously the Between the Eyes get CDR from your Restless Blades. Blade Thresh as well on cooldown if you play that as well. Overall, super enjoyable spec to play. The only thing that I don't like sometimes is like you have a flat damage. The longer the mob stay, the more damage you're gonna do, or at least equal damage. You don't have a frontal burst. I mean, at least you have some, but it's not as strong as other classes, right? So on low level keys, it might not play as good. But one of the most enjoyable specs so far, Outlaw, that is big W. Moving next to what else? Oh, Subarok. Okay, so about Subarok, one of the specs that I haven't fully explored. Okay, I didn't play Trickster, and by the way, you play Trickster as Outlaw, right? I didn't explore Trickster yet, and although Trickster actually might be better than Deathstalker, I suck at Subarok, by the way. I should get better. I'm trying to get better. I got you. So several things got removed. Rapture, gone. Sim move date is now baked inside your dances. Your dances are gonna be shorter cooldowns, but shorter dances as well, which is fine. Secret technique is a flat cooldown, right? It doesn't get CDR'd by your abilities like before. It's just flat CD, right? Which is fine. What else? Cold Blooded Killer is a passive now instead of an actual button, which is fine. I think that's it. That is like the quickest TO that I can give about Subarok. You still do Shuriken into Black Powder, or Shuriken into Invis, or Shadow Strike into Invis. Depends on how many targets you're playing. Depending if you play Deathstalker, or depending if you play Trickster. A lot of things depend here on the Rogue. But overall, one of those specs that I have to fully explore yet. I need more time to actually play it. So yeah, that's about it. Next, Ele Shaman. Wow. Ele Shaman is changed quite a bit. So a lot of things got removed from the Ele Shaman. Ice Fury, gone. Deity, gone. Storm Elemento, gone. Echoes of the Great Sundering, gone. Primordial Wave, gone. Now you ask me, what the fuck is happening with Ele Shaman? Well, so because of all of these changes, your rotation consists of Chain Lightning Earthquake. That's it, no more. I guess if you play Stormkeeper, you press Tempest. If you play Farseer, you can play a talent called Purging Flames. There's a new talent called Voltic Blaze, which is also available in Ele Shaman, that applies 6 flame shocks to 6 targets, right? Instead of having LMT, and by the way, LMT is also gone, you press that one. There's several talents that make you do more damage on targets if you have flame shock on them, so it's actually pretty useful to have, even if you play Stormbringer. But as a Farseer, there's a new build called the Farseer Elemental Shaman, which is kind of like what do you call it? Like lava build, right? I can show you a quick TLDR here, how it looks like for like 5 seconds. Quick peek. There you go, quick peek. Can I show it? Yeah, I can. I have a TikTok. Super cringe, right? Okay. It's okay, boys. From Battleshot. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. I think as far as here, Ele is pretty fun. Actually pretty fun. As Stormbringer is disgustingly bad. I hate the playstyle as Stormbringer. Yeah, Thunderstorm is now gonna be only Ele Shaman available stop, but it knocks targets away, doesn't knock it up, because Thundershock is gone. So yeah, also Stone Bulwark Totem is being removed from Enhance, Elemental, and Restoration, so you're gonna become even more squishy in the next expansion. Woohoo! Enhance, lovely. Enhance also got a lot of changes done to them. Ice Strike, Hailstorm removed, P-Wave as well, Witch Doctor and Ancestor removed as well, but a lot of cool talents added to the spec. It has become significantly easier, a lot less button bloat, and most than everything is pretty fun to play. Now, whether you play Stormbringer or Totemic, they're all enjoyable to play. I love it. I personally love it. It has a pretty fluid playstyle and fun. One small thing I forgot to mention, Earth Ele got reworked on Ele on Enhance and Restoration. It's now a flat 3-minute cooldown instead of 5 minutes, but lasts 30 seconds instead of a minute. And there's a talent that makes it to not put any threat, so you can maintain it all the time, which is pretty cool because it gives you 15% more health. Pretty cool, right? Moving forward, Warlock. Okay, so Warlock is changed significantly, especially as Affliction. Vile Taint is gone. Now you apply Agony only through manual application. At least you have a shared Agony, which means every time you apply Agony to one target, another one that doesn't have it automatically gets applied. That's pretty cool. Your AoE spender is gonna be Seed of Corruption. Now Malefic Rupture is gonzo, deleted. Seed is gonna be the next AoE spender. On single target, you cast Unstable Affliction back to back to back to back, and it stacks kind of like a Legion lock. Soul Rot is gone. Instead, you have a new talent called Dark Harvest. It just does damage. It's channel, does damage. It gets CDR from your Seed of Corruption, or Unstable Affliction if you have a talent below it. I think it's pretty cool. Your Apex talents are surrounding about Hound, so pretty much all passive shit. It have a pretty good design, but very spammy though. Right, you still have good prio, good damage profile, good sustain, good burst. It's just very spammy. You just press 10 or 15 times back to back to back. Seed. And yeah, I can auto 4. So that's the TLDR. I think for the most times, for the... Oh, Dark Glare got also reworked. It doesn't snapshot, doesn't extend dots anymore. Just like flat damage. Just makes you do more damage. So no more snapshots. Unlucky. Demon Lock is very enjoyable. Slightly easier to play, and the rotation is like bread and butter. Very nice. Bombers got removed, Sorcerer got removed, Grimmer Felguard got removed, but instead it's just boats, cores, your docks, Tyrants, and Hand of Cooldowns, and Implosion. Implosion is now, by the way, 30-second cooldown instead of like a no cooldown. That's pretty cool. We've also got a new utility called Grimmer, right? You can have an extra interrupt or dispel while having a Felguard, by the way. Amazing. You've got a talent in a general tree that once you apply one curse on enemy, it applies automatically on all targets in like 10-15 yards. I think it was pretty cool. Another utility talent that makes your curses be 100% more effective, I believe. Something along those lines. I can't remember exactly the name of it, but it was pretty cool. For the most part, I enjoy Demonology the most. It does pretty well on beta right now, and big damn, love it. Destruction, unfortunately, is one of the most boring specs to play as well. Rotation is pretty similar, although a lot of talents got removed. Your capstones absolutely suck. It's still gonna be the same gameplay loop. Cataclysm to apply Wither or Immolation. By the way, you play Diabolus right now. But plot twist, a new nice talent to... So okay, I'll give you an example. Imagine you have 10 targets. They come in, you Cataclysm, you apply Immolation on all of them, or Wither, but then 3 targets get pulled in immediately. Instead of applying to them, Wither or Immolation manually, you conflagrate any target that has Immolate or Wither, and it spreads automatically to those. Pretty cool. That's very cool shit. There is a builds that don't play Rain of Fire. Even on like 10-15 mobs, you play Chaos Bolt. I know, but they are such builds right now. Demon Fire Infusion is absolutely undertuned. Channel Demon Fire also undertuned, quite shit. The portals also pretty shit. Dimensional Portal, Rift got slightly reworked, still shit. So far shit. Yeah, they just need to change it, buff it, whatever. Most of your damage right now in beta comes from the Apex talents, which are significantly buffed. This shit at Echo of Sargeras is accounting for 35% of your overall damage. And it's RNG damage. Just by the grace of God, that's it. Not so great. It just needs more cooking so far. That's it. And last but not least, Warrior. Okay, so for the first time for a while, I can't say anything bad about Warrior. Pretty cool. So Arm's Warrior plays similar to before, except that you have now an extra button from your Apex talents, which you're not gonna play because expansion is gonna be coming in March, so whatever. Colossus is absolutely atrociously bad on beta right now, one of the worst specs. Extremely starved on Rage, but Slayer plays pretty cool. Avatar and Anger Management, as well as also on Fury and Protection Paladin and Protection Warrior, are part of the general tree. So that's pretty cool. Skull Splitter got removed. Water Breaker is now baked inside your Colossal Smash, so one less buttons to press. I think you have a Max Executioner talent on the spec specific trait that do more damage on all targets below 35%, which is pretty cool. For the most part, when I played my Slayer Arms, and if you guys want to check out the gameplay, you can roll all of the votes back from the previous broadcast. Arms felt nice to play. Consistent damage, good 2 targets. ST was like meh, good burst. Blade Storm slightly undertuned, I would say, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. Yeah. And Fury Warrior. Oh, also, every single Warrior spec gets more utility. So that means you have a Master Immortal Totem, You have a mass moving speed increase, kind of like a Windrush Totem. You've also got an extra interrupt if you play the Javan Kneeler talent with Wrecking Throw every 45 seconds. What else do you have? Stronger Rallying Cry, for example. Yeah, a few nice nitty-gritty stuff. I like it. Slayer Arms is absolutely dog shit. I didn't even play it. I played it once and it was so bad. Mountain Ten is exactly the same as the Warrior 10. One-on-one. You do the same shit. Ravager got removed in onslaught, but that's pretty much the most important thing. Everything else is exactly the same. Your Apex Talents are focusing a lot more on your Recklessness, pretty much bigger burst. Even outside of Recklessness, you can do more damage. And a new cool talent called Q will be killed, pretty much cheated. If you want to sacrifice some more damage for cheated, so be it. That's it. I think that's the TLDR version on every single DPS spec so far, and what you can expect when pre-patch comes out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any questions below? Once again, if you want to see, I'm going to upload every single UI for all the specs that I play, and I'll also put some votes to see how you guys like it and how they play out. And I listen to Call of Duty Warfare because of the nostalgic, but I'm going to show you in the channel. If you go to my channel right now and go to the votes, you can pretty much check out every single vote of mine playing all the specs, and yeah, they are completely free for everybody. So if you want to see how some spec is playing out, all you gotta do is go there, roll back the vote. Oh, that was my cat, by the way, and just see how they play out. And that's it, right? Yeah. Anyway, thumbs up the video. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye for now.